Today, I would like to tell about the root switches. Root switches are the main element of escape rooms, a sensor that participates in escape room. In general, how the root switch is made? It is a glass cone in which there are two paws. Under the action of the magnetic fields, the paws are closed and consequently this leads to a closure. For example, here I have a multimeter connected and I connect the multimeter feelers to the reed switch. I put the multimeter in the reading mode and bring it to the reed switch. You can hear the sound coming from the multimeter, which means a closure. The more I bring the magnet, the farther it will work. Here, hence a smaller magnet will work less. Also, it depends on how to bring the magnet. This magnet has a flat form. I bring it up like this. The triggering size is about a centimeter. You see. If I bring it like this, or like this, then the working distance rises to 3 centimeters. How to bring the magnet is also important, because the magnetic field is spreading in a special way. Further, since the reed switches are very fragile, they have to be placed into a case. For example, such a magnet has a hard plastic case. It's easy to install them in wooden panels, in any other panels. It has exactly the same operating principle. We connect it to the multimeter and bring the magnet. The confident range of operation is 2 centimeters. We bring a bigger magnet, it increases up to 3 centimeters. If I incorrectly bring the magnet, then the range of operation is reduced. So pay attention to the responding part of the magnet. The second type of a closed one had this form. Plastic housing, which is protected from external influences. Therefore, that's how the reed switch works. Also, for most tasks, reed switches are used. There are two types of them. It's normally open type and a normally closed type. Therefore, one pair of contacts form a closure. For example, here it is. And the second one, on the contrary, when the magnet is brought up, an opening occurs. These reed switches are well used for the puzzles of the escape room. Now I'll show you how these reed switches can be soldered consistently in order to solve some riddles in ERs. I have 3 reed switches. The task sounds like this. For instance, arrange 3 animal figures on a stand. There are 3 places where the arrangement of these animals is determined. If the order is not important, then from below you can set the sensors, reed switches in the figures. You can install the magnets, and when all 3 sensors are closed with a consistent connection, the circuit will close and the controller will work. How to do it? We have to take heat shrinkage and connect our reed switch consistently. For this, we use the soldering method. Flux is applied, and using a soldering iron with tin, you solder. When the soldering is done, you have to use the heat shrinkage on this place. Here. The next reed switch is connected to the previous one. Here too, bite off excess conductors, lubricate it all with the flux. Don't forget to use heat shrinkage at first. Further, we have such a soldered thing here and 2 contacts left. With the help of a multimeter, we can check whether everything will work. Connect the multimeter to the bare ends. It does not respond. If I placed one thing and close one sensor, nothing happens. If I place two items, nothing happens. When I place the third thing, bring a magnet, everything works. Here, now we need to connect the sensors correctly to the controller. We have two contacts and there's a shielded one per cable 26AWG. All sensors are connected to the controller using this cable. How does it look? This is how the 26AWG cable looks. We clean it. It has a braiding and it has two cores. For example, the green one is going to be used as a grounding. I bare it and solder it with a braiding. Thus we screen the signal. Again, we put a flux. We cut out the excess and bare the signal cable. It is necessary to take pieces of heat shrinkage and solder to our shielded 1 per cable 26AWG, both to the conductors. Then we cut out the excess and apply flux and solder. On the one hand, we apply heat shrinkage, and on the other hand, we also apply heat shrinkage. It's important that there is no intersection of conductors in this zone. You can tighten the braiding of the cable for convenience, and then there will be such a neat connection. Further, the reverse hand of the shielded 1 per cable 26AWG is also should be protected, and the braiding should be cut off completely. We don't need it here. The remaining two cables, the green of which is the ground and the white one is the signal, we also clean, and then we use the shells for crimping. They look like this. We strain them on a conductor and use a special crimping device to crimp it. The same is done with the second part. Then we get the following. We connect this device to the controller. Green is ground, white is the signal. That's all. Thank you for your attention.